Seeing as our favourite time of the year is just around the corner, we thought we'd put together a massive compilation of some of the spookiest and scariest videos going around. It's bound to put you in the Halloween spirit for sure, so sit back, relax and enjoy. This eerie footage, uploaded to Facebook on the 11th of October 2017, was taken from an after-hours security camera at Cronies, a restaurant in Southern California. The clip shows one of the bar stools as it begins to move, then suddenly it tips over. The creepiest thing about the video is that nothing else seems to move. This has led many viewers to suspect paranormal activity. Then, less than a week later, this startling clip was uploaded to the restaurant's Facebook page. This time, the incident occurs in the middle of a room full of hungry diners. Without warning, one of the chairs begins to tip backwards, as if there's a ghostly presence sitting in it. Several patrons witness the bizarre disturbance, which bothers one of them enough to actually get up and check the chair. The startling footage even made the news, where some noted the perfect timing of the events, which occurred just weeks before Halloween. This led several skeptics to suggest that it might have been staged in an attempt to attract extra patrons to the restaurant. While this is possible, the fact that we see one of the diners examining the chair in the second clip suggests that it could indeed be genuine. Many viewers also seem adamant that the events were caused by something supernatural. Even the bar's co-owner thinks that there could be at least 2 resident ghosts in the building. He blames the place's original owners, Ralph and Don, adding, "Whenever something funny happens, it's their fault." So what do you think? Is this Californian restaurant really haunted by ghosts, or is there another explanation for the mysterious movement of the chairs? This next piece of shocking ghost footage, recommended by Slaptam viewer Logan C878 and featured on Mindseed TV, provides viewers with some seriously disturbing content. A viewer reached out to Mindseed TV explaining that their grandfather had recently passed away and given him his house. However, an unknown and malicious spirit has prevented him from being at peace when entering the home. The group sets out to undergo an intense paranormal investigation, bringing multiple pieces of equipment along with them, including standard EMF detectors and thermal cameras. However, this footage gets really unsettling when the group breaks out their Ouija board in an attempt to communicate with the spirit.
What is your name?
As the investigators explained, they were met with an immediate sense of foreboding when entering the house. Walking through its rooms, there was not a single place where the group didn't feel an eerie, dark presence.
It doesn't feel like a...
I've smelled that smell before.
Yeah. It doesn't feel like a good vibe.
Continuing to walk through the home, the group mentions that one room in particular gave off so foul of a stench that the group became convinced a dead animal must have been in there.
Oh, this room stinks. Oh, this room smells real bad.
However, one of their cameras immediately malfunctioned after entering the room, leaving viewers to believe that the room must be the epicenter of the paranormal activity.
Dad, maybe we stay out of this one. I almost wonder if what he's been feeling here is his grandma.
Continuing to make their way through the home, feeling watched, the group eventually picks up the sound of a spirit telling them to come get it. It's when the group decides to bust out the Ouija board and one of them breaks contact for a second that a light flickers in the room.
What happened?
I took my hand off it.
Towards the end of the video, the investigation takes a very dark and ominous turn. The group believes they've heard the piano being played, even though no one else is around.
Is that you playing the piano? I don't see any more of the keys pushed down. If that was you, can you do it again?
One of the members decides to encourage a response by playing the piano and asking if anyone's there. The response is truly terrifying.
Okay, I'll do it.
Yeah. Can you give us a little sound?
Seconds later, the entire house begins to shake. Doors and windows rattle violently as though an earthquake has ripped through the house.
Dude.
Even the chandelier is left swaying in the aftermath. The paranormal investigators immediately leave the house, fearing that they might actually be harmed in some way if they were to stay any longer. Finally, the crew of Mindseed TV recommend that the homeowner no longer stay in the house until it's been cleansed.
Can you give us a little sound?
Dude.
Uploaded to Reddit by user Nutzack, this is potentially some of the most obvious ghost footage we've seen yet. As is explained in both the video and the accompanying Reddit post, the video was captured in the uploader's mum's house. In the hallway in question is a singular light controlled by two separate switches. Keeping the camera viewed on both switches as much as possible while still showing the light, the uploader points out that both switches are clearly in the on position.
That switch down there is on. You just see it past my shaking. This one is on, okay?
While this seems like nothing particularly creepy, the hallway light begins to turn off and then on again all by itself.
It's... Mom. See what I mean? It's...
Much more prolonged than a simple flicker, it's clear the light is actually being turned off and then back on again. As the light goes off the second time, the switch nearest to the uploader is clearly visibly switched to the off position, with nothing and no one anywhere near the switch.
You can hear it, you... Mom, nope.
If you slow the footage down, you can clearly see the switch flick downwards. Many viewers have concluded that something supernatural, some invisible spirit, is messing around with the switch, purposefully turning the light off and then on again. Rightly so, the uploader quickly nopes out of there, genuinely freaked out by the odd event that he's just witnessed, and we can't blame him.
Nope.
As the Reddit post explains, the uploader's mother continues to live in the home, which has become a hotbed of odd experiences and potential supernatural events over the years. Looking for proof of ghosts that you can take to the bank? This first piece of weird footage might just fit the bill. A video shared on YouTube by Hidden Underbelly 2.0 appears to show the ghost of a young girl running through a bank full of people before simply vanishing. The incident took place at BCP Bank in Lima, Peru. Footage from the bank shows a girl who looks to be about 10 years old passing through a cubicle area full of bank employees rather clearly. The bank employee who spots the girl is baffled to see a child crying as she runs through the bank. He's even more perplexed to discover that she's simply vanished, even though there was nowhere she could have hidden. To make the incident even creepier, moments later we see footage of the automatic doors to the bank opening without any bank customers in sight. Could the young girl's spirit really have activated the doors to open on their own? This piece of strange footage does leave some questions unanswered. We don't actually know why one of the employees just happened to be filming right in the direction where a child's alleged ghost would eventually be passing through. Is it possible that a camera is always rolling in the facility as part of security protocol? Skeptics will say it's just a little too convenient. However, it's pretty hard to dismiss what the weird footage reveals. This chilling video was uploaded to the YouTube channel Tommy Wells in 2011. The uploader claims it's just one example of the supernatural events that happen in their home. The video was taken during a family gathering for a birthday. Several young girls are crowded around a birthday cake as friends and family watch on. Everything seems perfectly normal until the kitchen tap inexplicably turns itself on.
You happy your birthday?
Oh my God, Tommy, it's gonna start again. Oh my God, dang, no.
It ain't gonna mess everything up.
It's gonna mess this up for everybody now.
The camera holder is clearly freaked out as they announce that this stuff is starting again. The young girls become frightened and are not sure what's happening. Soon after, one of the cupboards flies open. Several of the drawers begin opening and closing on their own. One falls to the ground. The children run for safety in a panic. While the adults struggle to explain what exactly is going on, the video abruptly ends. It's interesting to note that while this video is hosted on Tommy Wells's channel, the video was originally posted to a channel called Jerry Wells 1. Jerry Wells's channel used to document the haunting of a family in Tennessee. The videos spanned several years, logging everything from paranormal activity in the house to apparent demonic hauntings as well as Ouija board seances. They managed to film a lot of interesting events. However, for some mysterious reason, all the videos on Jerry Wells's channel have been deleted. No one knows why. The deleted content has sparked rumors that the family became overwhelmed by demonic forces and either went into hiding or were murdered. All that remains of the documented haunting are 4 videos on the Tommy Wells channel. Could this family really have succumbed to some kind of demonic entity, or is it all just a well-executed hoax?
What the hell is going on? Go to the front room. Go to the front room.
Some videos present viewers with an unsettling feeling right from the start. This video, uploaded to YouTube by user Memoria Sobrenatural INC, is one such example. In the mysterious footage that's presented, the viewer first sees a man decked out and ready to fight anything malicious that comes his way. Equipped with an axe and a belt of bullets, the man seems to be headed towards some serious danger. Having driven to what appears to be an abandoned cabin, the man doesn't waste any time breaking the front door down violently. It quickly becomes apparent why the man has taken such drastic and forceful measures from the start, as the camera pans over to a set of double doors, seemingly opening all on their own. It seems as though the building itself is rebelling against the man's presence, as it's shown falling down around him. As the footage continues, a candle is seen burning out without any force around it, as well as objects moving on their own. Focusing on eerie statues and burning effigies, as well as odd stray animals and strange decor, one has to wonder what the building had previously been used for. If it was a residence, it's clear something disturbing must have occurred here. Objects continue to fall in the man's path, seemingly pushed by poltergeists or other such forces. Perhaps most frightening of all, the video depicts a Christmas tree suddenly engulfed in flames spontaneously. Leaving the room, the man sees a chair on fire moving on its own as the door to the room closes itself. Truly frightening, this video depicts one of the most seemingly haunted areas to have ever existed. Unfortunately, there's very little information available about this clip. It's hard to pinpoint its origin, but what it shows is chilling. This CCTV security camera appears to capture something unusual on this suburban street. A few seconds into the clip, something strange appears to manifest out of the brick wall. It looks to be a figure wearing a long robe or white dress. It glides along unnaturally and seems to shimmer in and out of shot as it walks across the path. This clip has mystified the internet for years, with no one really able to give a complete explanation. Rumour has it that a young girl was killed in a car accident just meters from where this footage was taken. However, skeptics have noted that because it's hard to track the origin of the clip, it would be near impossible to know that a young girl died near the site of the footage. No references, names, or addresses are ever given in this urban legend, so it makes it hard to make further comment on this clip. Some stories even say that the footage is taken on the grounds of an old church, and the figure seen in the clip is the infamous White Lady, a common trope used in ghost stories time and time again. What do you think? Has this clip just merged with various urban legends over the years in an effort to make it creepier? Perhaps it's a sort of internet campfire story that gets passed around, moulded and changed every time to scare the audience. Our first terrifying video comes from the YouTube channel Real Ghost, a channel dedicated to sharing videos shot by amateurs that they claim feature actual ghosts. This footage comes from their store of unsettling videos. The video is set in a sparsely wooded area in Japan. The camera is unsteady, almost as if the videographer's hands were shaking as they moved the camera around to capture a full view of the area. The footage is blurry as well, making it difficult to get a clear view of anything that passes in front of the lens. But the area does appear to be empty of life, save for the person behind the camera. The shot passes in front of the same areas numerous times before something suddenly changes. Out of nowhere, the figure of a woman in a long white dress appears next to a tree. Although her position makes it look as though she's walking, the figure is completely still. The camera passes over her quickly, almost as if the videographer didn't notice her at first. When the shot quickly returns to the spot where the woman stood, she's disappeared without a trace. Many viewers have alleged that the video is fake, pointing to the unmoving figure as evidence that the ghost was staged. However, its sudden appearance and quick departure is definitely unnerving. Thanks to the advent of Nest and personal home security cameras, more and more odd occurrences happen to have been caught on camera in recent years. This video, uploaded to YouTube by user Elvis and Khaleesi, is one of the creepiest Nest camera videos out there. The video opens with a notification from the Nest camera, informing the home's owner that the device was believed to have heard someone in the supposedly empty garage. Video footage of the garage itself follows, showing a seemingly empty room. However, there is what sounds like a radio playing softly in the background. Checking to ensure the garage's radio was turned off, which it was, the homeowner appears and sees nothing wrong with the room. After walking out, the radio begins to play again. After receiving another alert from the Nest device that motion has been detected in the room, the viewer witnesses a distinct white ball of light floating across the screen. Immediately after, the Nest lets the homeowner know that the device has heard a sound, as the video picks up the sound of pool balls apparently moving on their own. The ball of light continues to float back across the screen just as the viewer hears one of the creepiest things caught on camera yet. A voice says the word silence over and over again as the Nest continues to report odd behaviour.
Silenced.
While the radio playing on its own may be explained away by a potential machine malfunction, the sound of the pool balls following the appearance of the orb is enough to make even the most hardened skeptics scratch their head. Adding in the repetition of the off-camera voice repeating silence multiple times, it's hard to explain what's going on, as the angle of the camera makes it apparent that there's no one else present in the empty garage. As the owner comes in to check on the garage multiple times due to each separate alert from the Nest, it seems unlikely there's a physical presence going unnoticed. The implications of the possibilities that remain to explain away this creepy video are truly terrifying. A slightly different type of ghost footage. This video, uploaded to YouTube channel Caters News and taken by Andrew Hearn, takes mysterious orb footage to another level. While we've seen these orbs frequently captured by cameras, particularly security and CCTV cameras late at night, this video uploader has essentially gotten up close and personal with a bright and fast-moving orb. A potential close encounter, the video depicts the uploader driving down the street at night. However, seen racing toward the uploader's vehicle from the opposite direction is a large orb. Impressive in size from even far away, the orb seems to come almost dangerously close to the vehicle before moving on. As the video is overlaid with some mysterious whispers, it's unclear whether these were added while editing the video in order to provide a dramatic effect, or if it was actually captured during the recording. The addition of the whispering, however, makes it clear that the uploader had experienced a chilling and deeply affecting supernatural experience. With the one who experienced it seemingly haunted by the event, this is the kind of video one can watch over and over and still be left without answers. This ghost footage posted to Reddit by user A Major Malfunction proves that ghosts don't always have to be visible to cause a scare. As though there wasn't already something creepy enough about working in an abandoned building, the added confirmation of ghostly activity would send anyone running out of the building for good. The video features a man exploring the abandoned building he's working in, seemingly already on edge due to the creepy environment. As the man is heard either talking to himself or chanting some sort of prayer, the ghost present in the building seems to respond in turn as he enters the second room captured in the video. Turning the corner, a table is seen in the center of the room with an assortment of objects placed on it. Just as the man makes his way near the table, an object is seen moving on its own. Startled, the man runs from the room and the footage abruptly ends. This is a curious piece of footage as it's clear there's no one else in the room that could have manipulated the object on the table. One viewer suggested that perhaps a rat or mouse was hiding on top of the table and managed to move the bowl or whatever the object is. Love to get your thoughts on this bit of scary footage in the comments section below. Among the uproar of Arab Spring, startling footage emerged that seemed to show a horseman of the apocalypse. During the Egyptian Revolution of 2011, mass protests took place in Tahrir Square. Thousands marched the streets to fight against, among many things, police brutality, corruption, and a lack of political freedom. During the demonstration, an MSNBC camera was broadcasting live to the United States. In the feed, you can see a mysterious yellow figure. It looks to be someone riding a horse. It's translucent and has a wavy quality to it. The entity glides along, then dissipates into thin air. When the footage aired, it caused quite a stir around the world. Viewers were at a loss to explain what was happening. There are several theories that try to explain the mysterious yellow horse rider. The most prominent theory suggests that it's one of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Given the surrounding social upheaval that was taking place during the Arab Spring, many thought the figure was one of the harbingers of doom as prophesied in the last book of the New Testament. Revelation 6:8. I looked, and behold an ashen horse, and he who sat on it had the name Death, and Hades was following with him. Authority was given to them over 1/4 of the earth, to kill with sword, and with famine, and with pestilence, and by the wild beasts of the earth. Another theory suggests that it could be the spirit of an ancient Egyptian warrior that was summoned by the violence and uproar of the protests. Some thought it was an angel sent to bring peace to the demonstrations, while others thought the opposite and believed the figure to be a demon arisen to cause anarchy on the streets of Cairo. Of course, more level-headed viewers suggested that it was a glitch in the camera or an overlapping of concurrent feeds. So what do you think? Was it simply a glitch or a prophecy coming to fruition? Love to hear your opinions on this one in the comments section below. Let's take a look at another gem from Real Ghost's archive of unsettling videos. To make matters even more frightening, this footage comes not from a desolate spot in the woods, but from the inside of a place that should be perfectly safe. a children's playroom. The footage comes from a closed-circuit security camera set to monitor the playroom. It was shot around midnight in the basement playroom in a private residence. The video begins with a shot of various toys scattered around the playroom floor. Then a ball suddenly starts to twitch and then rolls across the floor. No one enters the room before the toy begins to move. After a few more seconds of stillness, a toy lawnmower also begins to roll around on its own, as does a riding toy. A rocking horse begins to sway and a teddy bear flips over. At one point, a rocking chair moves. Shortly after, the TV turns on. The chair begins to rock faster and faster, only stopping when the TV shuts off, almost as if a ghostly child has been rocking in the chair while watching the TV. The parents in the home believe the footage depicts ghostly children enjoying the toys late at night, when they believe no one is watching. Love to get your opinions on this curious piece of footage. What do you think? Is it real or fake? Let us know in the comments section below. This mysterious footage, uploaded to YouTube by the Oregonian, works to prove this Oregon dispensary's claim that it is in fact haunted. This short clip shows just a handful of supernatural activity, but that alone is enough to provide substantial evidence to even a skeptic. A camera set up to provide security footage captured multiple odd occurrences over the course of just a few seconds. If you keep an eye on the jar of pens on the counter, something eerie happens. As the footage elapses, it seems as though the pens move all on their own. Next, the tip jar on the counter seems to be moved by some unseen force. As a worker nearby is otherwise preoccupied, the tip jar moves several inches on its own across the countertop. Captured from two separate angles, it seems impossible that anything except the supernatural could have moved that tip jar across the counter. In an interview with the man working in the dispensary at the time the footage was taken, the man explains that he felt as though there was a presence standing next to him, right at the moment the jar was moving. As the jar falls, Andy gets the idea to check the surveillance cameras and sees the jar moving on its own. Speaking on both the jar and the pens, the general manager of the dispensary explains that the footage couldn't be legally doctored, as it's against state law to do so, as the cameras monitor goods of a sensitive nature. As the dispensary had been built in a building that formerly housed a pharmacy at the turn of the 20th century, the general manager goes on to say she believes the building to be haunted by the ghost of the pharmacist, rearranging the items in the dispensary. When speaking to an expert on Oregon hauntings, the expert explains that the city is supposedly extremely haunted due to the city's rich history. Regardless of the city's past, the shop's owners seem to think the supposed ghost to be benevolent and otherwise harmless. Posted to the YouTube channel Original Video, this next clip was supposedly captured on an Albanian talk show. As the footage begins, the hosts seem to be talking about something entirely unrelated to paranormal activity, as you can clearly hear the name Amy Winehouse being mentioned. Suddenly, the two hosts are taken by surprise, as one of several newspapers flies off the table, seemingly ripped into the air by some sort of unseen force. Clearly bewildered by what has just happened, the male host picks up the newspaper from the floor, proving that there are no strings or wires attached to it.
Wow.
He then requests that the clip be played back multiple times, which clearly shows that he didn't knock it off the table either. Rather, it seems as though the paper was mysteriously lifted into the air. Watching the footage, it's easy to see why so many people who have viewed the clip think that the paper's sudden movement could be caused by a paranormal force. While it's unclear whether or not this was the work of a pesky poltergeist looking to get the host's attention, one thing is for sure. It's certainly a creepy video and an eerie experience that these two hosts won't soon forget.
Wow.
This terrifying video, uploaded to Poopanessa's YouTube channel in March 2018, is supposedly an excerpt taken from a CCTV camera where they work. It shows what appears to be the ghost of a young child lurking under a stairwell. You can see the pale and seemingly transparent figure slowly making its way into the darkness, before suddenly flying forward at great speed. The clip has received a lot of attention from paranormal enthusiasts, who believe that the figure is indeed a ghost. Some have questioned the history of the building itself, curious to know if there's ever been any deaths recorded on the premises. While it's unclear if there has been, there is certainly no denying that the figure does resemble the ghost of a young child. Its body, head and arms all appear to be visible as it eerily moves about. What do you think? Has the security camera captured evidence that there really is a ghost of a young child haunting the building? Or is the mysterious figure something else entirely? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. This supernatural security footage from Vision Paranormal is enough to send shivers down your spine. Is this the Grim Reaper hunting its prey, or is there a more logical explanation? You'll have to decide for yourself. The footage begins with what appears to be a normal hallway with a security camera focusing on the corner of a stairwell and an elevator. However, after a few seconds, a darkly hooded figure peeks its head from the shadowy stairwell. It appears cautious at first, almost as if looking out to see if anybody's watching. Slowly, the sinister-looking figure shuffles its way down the stairs. Oddly enough, the more it exposes itself, the more cautious it seems to be. However, rather than moving with a sense of fear or timidity, the cloaked being seems to lurch about as though possibly stalking something or someone. After taking its time, the figure is finally in full view. It almost appears like it's wearing a traditional European-style cloak that covers everything all the way down to its feet. Startlingly, it resembles the visage of the Grim Reaper. Whoever might be on the other side of that doorway could be in for a terrifying shock. Although it's not apparent if the figure possesses any sort of weapon or other means of doing harm, the careful nature of its stalking leads the mind to only wonder what its devilish intent might be. Given the fact that this haunting took place at 1:46 AM, it certainly lends credence to the phrase, "going bump in the night." Continuing in the vein of the creepiest Nest camera videos, this video, uploaded by YouTube user Brian Goldman, depicts one of the oddest things captured by one of these cameras. While many found footage videos have captured oddly inexplicable figures over the years, there's something a bit too creepy about knowing it's capturing one sneaking onto someone's personal property. Captured in the middle of the night, this video depicts an otherwise empty street. Empty aside from the figure creepily attempting to walk onto the property. Dressed in an apparent ode to one of cinema's most notorious horror icons, Michael Myers, the figure walks right up to the home in question. Holding what appears to be a knife in one hand, the figure attempts to walk straight up to the door and try the handle. After seeing that the door is locked, the figure walks away. This is not the end of the oddly costumed figure's attempts to get into the home, however. The figure returns not once, but twice more, in order to try the handle once again, pacing back and forth. If the definition of insanity is trying the same thing over and over again and expecting different results, it's apparent that this is what's happening in this video. Without a reason to suspect that the door had miraculously unlocked while the man walked away either time, It's clear that the masked figure was likely not in their right mind, and lucky for the Nest camera owner, their home was securely locked. This ghost footage, posted to Reddit by user Baked Potato, originally captured by one of their friends, demonstrates just how creepy incidental ghost footage can really be. Captured in the infamous Lemp mansion, the uploader's friend encountered something truly unsettling while doing a tour of the old property. Known as one of the most haunted homes in America, the Lemp mansion was at one time home to the popular pre-Prohibition brewing family, the Lemps. Despite their success, tragedy would strike the family in the form of the death of son Frederick Lemp. This tragic death would trigger a series of 3 suicides of other Lemp family members, all within the walls of the Lemp mansion. Over the years, the infamous Lemp mansion has been renovated into a boarding house and later a restaurant and popular ghost tour site. It's said that the spirits of the Lemp mansion remain present still, haunting the walls where so much tragedy occurred. While viewers have never been able to pinpoint the exact identity of the figure captured in this footage, the idea that it's likely one of the Lemp relatives doesn't seem to be too far of a stretch. As the camera pans around the mansion, nothing out of the ordinary is seen, until it happens to pan across what appears to be a dark figure wearing a wide-brimmed hat, the kind that likely would have been popular when the last of the Lemp family inhabited the mansion decades ago. Although it seems the friend who captured the video didn't notice the figure at the time, or even during the first subsequent viewings of the footage, the figure is hard to miss once spotted. If you slow the footage down, there is indeed a shadowy figure there. When the camera pans back over the same space just seconds later, the figure is gone. Quiet and unobtrusive, it would seem the Lemp family likely means no ill will towards those now inhabiting their former family home, yet would still like to make their presence known. This next bizarre video comes from Bashkortostan, Russia, courtesy of Kurtov German. This video also seems to depict an encounter with a strange and terrifying cryptid. The footage was shot from the inside of a moving car. Through the car's window, we see a large field of tall grass. The car's passengers sound alarmed, though at first the video doesn't show what it is that's given them such a fright. The footage is blurry from being shot through the window of a bouncing car. However, we eventually get a look at the cause of their alarm when a large humanoid creature appears in the grass. The figure is just a shadow, but its body appears large and strong. As the footage continues, the creature chases the car as the driver attempts to flee. The creature has no problem keeping up with the vehicle, seeming to move with supernatural speed. Many believe that the video depicts a creature similar to the Bigfoot or Yeti. However, while Bigfoots are often thought of as reclusive and strive to stay away from people, this creature pursues the car for several minutes. Its intentions are clear, but they look far from peaceful. So what do you think this creature could be? Love to hear your thoughts on this one in the comment section below. While there's a wide array of odd Nest camera footage out there, most enthusiasts of the creepy and supernatural likely install these cameras hoping to catch a glimpse of a ghost or spirit. This video, uploaded to YouTube by user Yuffie, seemingly accomplishes just that. Capturing Nest footage in an empty room at night, things start to go wrong as the cord attached to the window blinds begins to bump and move against the window all on its own. Slamming itself against the window violently over and over again with nothing around it, this activity alone captured on camera would be eerie enough after just a few times. However, the cord continues to slam itself against the window forcefully, seemingly on its own. The cord even separates many times during the video, which could rule out the possibility of someone with fishing wire just off camera. The angle at which the Nest camera is positioned too seems to eliminate the chance of a figure in the room moving the cord in some other way. It seems as though nothing short of an otherworldly being could cause the cord to move on its own, cueing poltergeist conspiracies. There's very little information available on this video, other than it was apparently captured by a young man who was home alone one evening. He began hearing unusual noises coming from the second floor and decided to investigate. The video begins as he makes his way up a flight of stairs. He then pans the camera around a cluttered room and cautiously heads into the darkness. Suddenly, a flash of light appears. It's so fast that it seems as though the man doesn't even notice. However, if you slow the footage down, you can actually see that the flash looks like some sort of terrifying face. It's pale with dark sunken eyes and a wide open mouth. It almost looks as though it's silently screaming at the man before it suddenly disappears. Sadly, as there's very little information available on this video, it's hard to know for sure what this man has actually caught on camera. Could the mysterious face be the cause of the sounds that the man heard coming from the second floor? Or is it more likely to be an optical illusion or even a clever editing job? Love to get your thoughts on this mysterious video in the comments section below. Ronald M sent us this unsettling clip that may show proof of a poltergeist haunting. On Sunday 12th of May 2019, Ronald, who was an IT manager for a daycare facility in Ohio, began receiving alerts that there was movement inside the daycare center. Being a Sunday, he thought it was strange and decided to check the feed remotely. At first, he noticed something fly in front of the camera lens and dismissed it as a bug. But just as he was about to log out of the system, he noticed something terrifying. In the footage, you can see the hallway of the daycare center, the lights are off and the night vision is activated. Just seconds after the bug flies in front of the camera, the stroller at the bottom of the shot appears to move all on its own. It jerks to the left, holds for a moment, then jerks back to the right. What could have caused this strange movement? Ronald has confirmed that there was no one in the daycare center at the time of the event. The parking lot was empty, no other sensors had been tripped, and there was no sign of a forced entry. Could this be evidence of a poltergeist haunting this daycare center in Ohio? Ronald is keeping an eye on this mystery and will let us know if anything else develops. What would a cemetery sound like if it could talk? A creepy clip of weird footage uploaded to TikTok by SPD815 might provide a clue. The clip shows footage of two patrol officers walking through a cemetery after dark with flashlights in their hands. However, the patrol doesn't last for very long. The officers are spooked by a terrifying scream that sends them running. Of course, the video does raise some questions. We don't know why the officers were patrolling a cemetery late at night, but the footage looks to be captured by a dashcam. No information regarding the location of the cemetery is provided. Is this an organic piece of footage caught on tape? Or was it a cruel prank played on officers called out to investigate something strange in a cemetery on a spooky night? The one thing we do know for sure is that the video is a good reminder of why you shouldn't go prancing through a cemetery late at night, unless you want to risk hearing a bone-chilling scream. Uploaded to YouTube by user Amar, an eerie black figure is seen walking out of a building on Vickers Hill in Amar, Northern Ireland. What the figure does in the video has left local residents absolutely petrified. Vickers Hill is one of the oldest areas of Armagh. It has a long history of alleged witchcraft. One ghost story has persistently scared local children into scurrying home before dark for decades. The ghost of the Green Lady is said to wander the streets of Armagh at night time, scaring the wits out of anyone unfortunate enough to cross her path. For years, this story was thought to be nothing more than urban legend, but there is some solid truth running through this old ghostly tale. In 1888, 21-year-old Ballina Pryor was arrested for the murder of 4-year-old Anne Slavin. It's said that Pryor drowned the child in a kitchen boiler while in a blacked-out rage. A court found Pryor guilty of the murder and had her committed to an insane asylum. It's here that Pryor attempted to take her own life on a number of occasions without success. Years later, she was released from the institution and died destitute and homeless. The legends say that her spirit lingered on, haunting the old streets of Armagh. While the details of this historical murder and the urban legend of the Green Lady have always mixed to frightening results, throw in the following footage and you have yourself a truly chilling concoction. Watch as an eerie figure is seen crossing the street. The mysterious person walks up to the fence on the opposite side, then disappears straight into the wall. Even more off-putting, the description of the video points out that the figure seems to be clothed in Georgian attire, making residents wonder exactly how long this ghost has been haunting the area. Could this be the infamous Green Lady, the spirit of Ballina Pryor that is said to have haunted this area of Vickers Hill for more than a century? New from the organisation Azteca America, which is known for reporting on more than just ghost sightings, comes an encounter with the spiritual world. Upon investigating a local schoolhouse that's been abandoned, the team quickly discovers that there are a lot of markings that couldn't have been made by humans. The stairway looks as though there's been claws scraping at it, and there have been a lot of reports of eerie figures wandering in the shadows and around the windows from outside. The team of young investigators begins to film the area in hopes of finding something that would confirm or deny any hauntings. It isn't until early in the morning that they encounter what appears to be proof of something terrifying. There isn't a lot to see at first. A figure appears that almost looks like one of the young investigators. It isn't until everyone realizes that the ghostly apparition is transparent that they understand what they're dealing with. If you slow the footage down, there is indeed something standing there. It looks to be a young girl wearing a long white dress. It took the news crew a lot of time to review the tapes to catch the exact moment after the fact. It's enough to send shivers down your spine. CCTV security cameras have recently become one of the best ways to capture scary videos. Redditor This Chris Special found this out when watching some footage taken from an outdoor security camera, which shows something highly unusual. The bizarre video begins in a pretty ordinary way. We see a man in a hat standing near a metal gate blocking off part of the roadway. He has a pile of luggage at his feet as if waiting for someone. There are trees all around, but there's nothing natural about what happens next. As the man remains completely still, a black orb begins to move horizontally across the center of the screen. The round object suddenly appears near the middle of the shot. It floats just above one of the metal gates, blocking off the road in an almost straight line until disappearing off screen. It's worth noting that nothing else moves while the black object makes its way across the screen. Although this particular orb is not the same colour as typical round ghostly apparitions, many who have viewed the video are still convinced it's most likely a spirit. Others theorise that it could be some sort of small UFO. However, some viewers are convinced that the video was faked, pointing to the complete lack of movement in the background throughout the footage. So could this video be a hoax, or did something paranormal cause a glitch in the film?
Now, if you can't get enough of our mega compilations, then there's another one right there for you. Otherwise, our playlists there will keep you entertained for hours and hours as well. Leave us a comment down below, smash that thumbs up button if you're enjoying our videos. And that's it for me. I'll see you all next time.